Hi, I'm Clara Henkes, and today I'll be talking about how the consumption of soda is linked to the rise in childhood obesity. We've seen rising soda consumption among U.S. children during the 20th century. According to the USDA, per capita sugar sweetened drink consumption has increased nearly 500% from 1944 to 1994. As you can see on the graph on the right from the USDA, in 1970, people drank about 20 gallons of soda per person per year, and that increased to 40 gallons in 1994. In the 40s, people drank nearly no soda at all. Sugar-sweetened drink consumption has increased dramatically in the late 80s, as you can see, and that's related to the rise in media. Other data also confirm this trend, and according to Nielsen and Popkin, soda intake has increased 135% from 1977 to 2001. Soda has become a major part of many children's diets. From 2010 to 2014, 63% of youth consumed sugar-sweetened beverages every day, according to the CDC. That's roughly 143 calories per day from sugar-sweetened beverages, and that accounts for 80% of added sugar in the US diet, according to Nielsen and Popkin. Soda companies have become a major part of American culture, and this dates back all the way to the 1940s during World War II. During World War II, Coca-Cola partnered with the Army to provide soda to troops worldwide. The military even helped Coca-Cola build factories and paid for the transportation of the soda itself. According to Marion Nestle, a food politics expert, it was completely embedded in military culture, so that by the time soldiers came back from World War II, Coca-Cola was part of the Allied effort to win the war. And this also relates to the fact that we've seen the rise in soda consumption begin in the 1940s. You can also see that media and soda consumption are very closely related. In the US, sugar-sweetened soda commercials are 6% of food commercials, according to Powell et al. A study by Cordman et al. Found that participants exposed to a soda commercial consumed 1.3 more ounces of soda than those not exposed to the commercial. So we know that the soda commercials do have an effect on soda consumption. And I've included a graph from the Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity, which shows not only how many ads people are exposed to per year, so you can see preschoolers see about 200 ads per year, and that increases to 400 during the teenage years, but the yellow is the full calorie soda, and you can see that the ads for soda have also increased as children get older. Current rates of soda consumption seem to be on the decline. According to the CDC, the percent of US high school students who drank one soda a day in 2013 was 27%. This dropped to 20.4% in 2015 and to 18.7% in 2017. But we also need to look at demographics when we're talking about a decrease in consumption. The decline in consumption seems to be concentrated among educated, wealthier people, and higher consumption remains among minorities, people of lower socioeconomic status, and people with less education, according to Hahn et al. This is also likely due to food accessibility and prices. So if you're living in a low-income area where the main grocery store is the gas station, it's more likely that you'll be buying high-calorie soda, which is often priced very cheaply. Marion Nestle has very interesting commentary on this issue. She's a food industry activist and has written the book Soda Politics. She says, but what's interesting about the consumption is that half the population in America doesn't drink it at all. So whenever you see consumption figures, you've really got to double them if you want a sense of what people who drink soda drink on average. So this really gets at the fact that soda consumption is still very high among certain populations, and it's even higher than we might think when we look at graphs, because we're also including a lot of people who don't drink soda at all. So the rate among people who do drink soda is very high. I want to talk a little bit more about the research on soda and obesity. Studies have found associations between BMI and soda consumption among adolescents, despite not even finding a relationship between snack consumption and BMI, according to Phillips et al. I also want to talk about a school intervention study, which is where the graph from the right is included from. So there's a group with limited soda consumption, which is the intervention group, and they had a decrease in percentage of obese children over time, while the control group had an increase in weight, according to James et al. And the control group just had no intervention, so they didn't have any limits on their soda, and you can see that the prevalence of obesity went up among the control group for boys and girls over the course of the year, and in the intervention group, that rate went down. There is conflicting evidence, however. Studies from Continuing Survey of Food Intake for Individuals and National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey did not find significant associations between obesity in U.S. children and soda consumption. However, it's important to note that a slight positive association was found, and that the method for this study was a cross-sectional design. So groups of different amounts of soda consumption were compared at the same time, which allows for some confounding variables, such as the fact that someone could have recently quit drinking soda and is overweight, or someone could have recently started drinking soda and is not currently overweight. So it doesn't have that component of studying people over time. And the group size was small as well. When you look at larger prospective studies, on the other hand, such as the one by Berkey et al., which included more than 10,000 boys and girls in the United States and conducted questionnaires over 2 years about the amount of soda people were consuming, they did find that sugar-sweetened beverages were associated with increases in BMI. In order to get an additional perspective on the relationship between soda consumption and childhood obesity, I interviewed pediatric endocrinologist Aaron Carroll. He mentioned that soda often acts as a competitive food, meaning it replaces water and other nutritious foods and adds additional calories to the diet. He also noted that soda does not increase how full we are, and so even though we might be drinking more soda, we aren't cutting back on other foods, so we end up with an increase in calories. Even an extra 100 calories per day equals 3,000 extra calories per month and can be over 12 pounds gained per year. So it's clear that even drinking one soda a day can have an effect on obesity. I asked Dr. Carroll about public health strategies and which ones might be failing or succeeding in terms of limiting soda consumption in children. He mentioned that we've been struggling to limit the TV ads that target children, and as I've shown in the studies I previously mentioned, ads seem to have an effect on how much soda children are consuming. He also mentioned that though many people are lobbying for a soda tax, this doesn't seem to effectively target children because children are often not using their own money but their parents' money to buy soda to begin with. So it's not affecting the children themselves. A lot of Dr. Carroll's patients that come in are overweight and do drink a lot of soda, and he said that one of his initial goals he often sets for his patients is to cut out soda because not only is it a clear goal, though it can be difficult to achieve, but it can eliminate a lot of calories right off the bat and help improve the diet right away. So how can we decrease soda consumption in children? As Dr. Carroll mentioned, soda tax doesn't seem to have a big effect, and there's also studies to support this, such as one by Powell et al. I think trying to combat big soda companies can help a lot, especially because of the effect of the media, but this is also a large task to accomplish. I think one of the most direct ways we can decrease childhood soda consumption at the moment is to try and provide healthier food options, particularly to children in at-risk groups, such as those in a lower socioeconomic area, because those children often have soda as one of their primary options. And so decreasing that soda consumption right away can decrease the amount of people who are addicted to soda from a young age. Thanks for listening, and here are my sources.